Welcome back, friends. I had a request for a follow-up video on this roof coating I did a couple years ago, and there's a little separation there. Still pretty thick. That's one of the roof joints. It's got a little bit of slime on it, but for the most part, this is the rollover. I painted that. I painted the top of this joint down into the gutter, and for the most part, it's looking pretty good. So the Achilles heel of most RVs is the back joint here and the front joint up at that front corner. That joint right there tends to be where water intrusion happens. The only place I saw that my coating was coming off was right under the edge of the drain on the air conditioner. And what I did was I got underneath there with a paintbrush. If you were going to be a little bit more thorough, the smart consumer would probably take the covers off and paint around it. I just coated the living snot out of it, put as much underneath it as I could, and it seems to have held just fine. I'm still having some issues, or the results of some issues with leakage. And I'm going to do a little bit of this video. Is going to be a little short video on that. And the only reason is that tomorrow, bright and early, I'm hooking this sucker up, and we are headed up to Camping World in the Akron area. And I'll be picking up, signing the paperwork on my new debt to get a new Coleman 202 RD camper and get out of a used camper into a new one. We'll talk a little bit here in a second about some things that I did on this one when I found some water issues. Again, the caulking came out both sides. When I just put as much in there as I could with a tube, basically pressure pushed it in there. The floor under here where the water, the low point drains are, is basically pretty much junk as far as integrity. It did dry out, but it's still soft. But that's where my main leak was right in down this. Basically, water got in, ran down the inside, and penetrated the edge of the floor and soaked its way across and under, which is one of the reasons I'm going to go ahead and trade. For all the good things on this RV, as far as some of the things it included, there were a lot of bad negative things, which were some of the construction techniques aren't as top quality. Hopefully the Coleman's going to be a little bit better. Of course, they're all going to be similar because I'm buying a stick and 10 or a sided stick frame. I looked at both stick framing like this with the siding, and I looked at a couple with the laminated fiberglass. These metal panels are easier to replace if something were to happen. The fiberglass, if it delaminates, can be a problem. They're all not going to be perfect. The big thing with an RV, and this is my big follow-up and my lessons learned, is knowing your weak points of these front and back joints. I'm going to Durabond tape these things, or a Turnabond, I believe it is, tape these. As soon as I get the new one, I'll make a quick video on that, just to protect the seam in its new state with a 10-year worth of covering with a rubber-based roof tape, and then do a couple things like that. I don't know if I'm going to Elastromeric coat the new one or not. I'll have to think about that. The roof's supposed to be good for 11 years, and there's some protective measures you take for it. So I'm out here at my site. I've got most of my belongings under a tarp during the rain and wind here on a picnic table, and that's about it. This is Caribou Dave. Gonna be replacing the Cozy T here with the Coleman, and I'll give a tour of that. But that's my update. That roof Elastromeric coating, I think, did a great job. It was Kool seal, Kool seal, Elastromeric coating, and it looks really good up there still. I haven't seen it peel off. Like I said, the only place it peeled off was over by my air conditioner drain, where I shoved it under there with a paintbrush versus rolling it on really thick. So that's my roof update, and hopefully I'll put a link to that on the original roof video. And Caribou Dave, last night in the 10-year-old camper that I've had for about 4 years. And the Adventure Dog, out.